Coffee is one of the most loved drinks in the world, but there's one variety that stands above the rest in terms of price and mystery: Kopi Luwak. Imagine paying up to $100 for a single cup, or hundreds of dollars for just a pound of beans. That kind of price tag raises an obvious question. Why is this coffee so expensive? The answer begins with its extraordinary production process. Kopi Luwak comes from Southeast Asia, where the Asian palm civet, a small nocturnal animal, eats ripe coffee cherries. Inside the civet's stomach, the fruit is digested, but the beans remain mostly intact. During their time inside the animal, natural enzymes break down proteins that normally make coffee bitter. The beans are then excreted, collected by farmers, thoroughly cleaned, roasted, and brewed. It's a process that is far more unusual and labor-intensive than anything seen in ordinary coffee production. Another reason for its high price is scarcity. Civets don't eat a large number of cherries, and the beans they leave behind are only a fraction of what you'd get from a regular coffee harvest. That means Kopi Luwak is produced in tiny amounts compared to the vast oceans of coffee consumed every day around the world. When something is that rare, demand quickly drives the price upward. The work involved in gathering these beans adds even more to the cost. Unlike traditional coffee, which can be harvested by the basketful, Kopi Luwak requires careful collection of beans, one small batch at a time. Each bean must be found, washed, and processed with great care. This slow, detailed labor turns every step of production into something far more expensive than normal coffee farming. There's also something special about the civets themselves. They don't just eat any coffee cherry they come across. Instead, they naturally choose the ripest, sweetest, and highest quality fruits. That means the beans that make it into Kopi Luwak have already passed through a natural selection process before they are ever fermented. The combination of careful picking by the civet and the enzymatic changes inside its body produces a coffee that is smoother, less acidic, and richer than most others. Beyond the process and the scarcity, Kopi Luwak also carries a sense of luxury and exclusivity. People aren't just paying for the flavor, they're paying for the story. Drinking Kopi Luwak is like owning a rare piece of art or tasting a vintage wine that few others can afford. It's an experience that people talk about, a symbol of indulgence, and that prestige drives the price even higher. But there's also a controversial side. Traditionally, farmers collected beans from wild civets living freely in the forests, which meant the coffee was produced naturally and in harmony with the animal's behavior. However, with rising demand, some producers began caging civets and force-feeding them coffee cherries. This not only harms the animals, but also reduces the quality of the beans, since a stressed civet can properly carry out the natural process that gives Kopi Luwak its unique character. Coffee made from wild, cage-free civets is much rarer and more authentic, and naturally commands a higher price. When you put it all together, the price of Kopi Luwak makes sense. It is the result of an unusual and time-consuming production process, a very limited supply, and the prestige of being one of the world's most exclusive coffees. On top of that, the ethical challenges of sourcing it responsibly add even more to its rarity. All of these elements combine to create a coffee that can cost more than most people spend on an entire month of regular cups. So, is it worth it? Some say yes, praising its smooth, chocolatey flavor and unique aroma. Others argue that the taste doesn't live up to the hype and that the value lies mostly in the story. But whether you see it as a fascinating delicacy or an overpriced novelty, one thing is certain: Kopi Luwak will always be remembered as one of the rarest, most expensive, and most talked about coffees in the world.